Boo, boo. Hey, if there's ever a movie series that makes me actually want to work out a bit more, it is always the Rocky and the Creed series, man. Man, fucking Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors are yoked, man. Jonathan Majors particularly is yoked. Let me just adjust the lighting here, just maybe a little bit. Oh yeah, that's a little bit better. It's just a little too bright on me. Anyway, Creed 3. Let's just start right at the gate. Did I like this movie? Very much. It is a really good movie. It's a great third part. If they were to make this the last one, it'd be a good place to end off the series. But they are talking about, there's more places we could take the series, and I'd be down for it. Where does it rank in the Creed trilogy? I guess I still agree with most people. I think the first movie is the best one. I think most people really like the second one. I really like the second one quite a bit. I think this one probably is a little better than the second one, but it's close. Like, it's a razor thin margin. Like, all these movies hover in like this upper tier quality, and this one's no different. The story is following Adonis after he has basically fought his last match and has been retired for, I think about 3 years. And his old friend, Damian Anderson, played by Jonathan Majors, finally gets out of prison. We learn about his past and their shared past, and he still wants the title shot. And through some situations that happen, he gets that shot. And everything I'm saying is things you can infer from the trailer. Is he gets that title shot and he wins the title. And then the falling out happens, and Michael B. Jordan's got to step in the ring one more time, challenge his friend, or challenge his old friend. Damn it, boy! It's just got that like little bit hanging right there. So. Good, bad, and most of it's good. This is Michael B. Jordan's first directorial debut, and look, you can tell he learned a lot. Ryan Coogler, and even from Sylvester Stallone, probably on the first two Creeds, and he's worked with Ryan Coogler, God knows how many times. I think I said Cooler, it's Coogler. But yeah, you can tell he's learned a lot. It's very well shot. There's some great imagery, great scenes. It's very well shot, fantastic acting, fantastic acting all over the board. The soundtrack is great, and the boxing scenes are fantastic. It's been said a lot that Michael B. Jordan, who is a big anime fan, my boy, there's no reason for me to like Michael B. Jordan even more. The dude's a nerd, and I love it. Dude, we should hang out, watch the anime. I'd be down. You can find me, Michael. I love you, Michael. No, seriously, no. But I mean, hey, look, if for some reason Michael B. Jordan watches this, I can make the time. But no, he's a fan of anime, and he wanted to incorporate anime-like tropes into the fight scenes. Now, I've heard some people say they couldn't see those tropes, but I've heard other people say they could see those tropes. My guess, and this is just my guess is, if you're not as big a watcher of anime, you're not going to just immediately notice those tropes. But as someone who's obviously, if you've seen my channel, who is a big fan of anime, you definitely can see those tropes. I won't say everything that's there, but notice the way they illustrate him noticing an opponent's weak spot. The way that, the way they will interact with each other in the ring. There is one shot specific. I will say this. There's one shot. This is the one combat spoiler for like anime spoiler I'll say. Or like how an opponent is about to see a punch coming, but there's one shot. It's literally a Dragon Ball Z anime style punch where they both just go through and just hit each other on the chin. There's one of those. I'm like, I'm here for it, man. The boxing scenes are great. Jonathan Majors is a beast in this film. Just a beast. Like, if you've seen Kang, Ant-Man and the Wasp with Kang, he's fantastic in that movie too. And but I have to agree with some of the people I've heard talk about this. He's better in this movie. This is just a better written character. And the difference here is that you actually get to see him with his shirt off a lot. And like, you actually get to see, as what is it? Cinema Wins was put it, Jonathan Majors' workout routine. Like the dude is like, I'm not joking. The dude is yoked. He looks like he would take your head off. But they do they do such a, because he is the antagonist, arguably the villain, but the antagonist. They do a good job at making you like him, but making you also understand that there's something not right, something off with him. And then you get to the point where you do not like him, and then you ultimately reach that peak of catharsis where you're like, okay, maybe he's more just a broken individual, an angry individual, but he's not an evil person. And there is peace that can be found. Michael B. Jordan is great. Tessa Thompson, one of my celebrity crushes. Tessa Thompson, God, I love Tessa. Not just because I think she's gorgeous and has a great personality off screen, but she's just a fantastic actress too. I just love Tessa Thompson. The girl Mila Davis Kent, the girl who plays their daughter, I love this kid. I really enjoyed the relationship. She's deaf, as we learned in the second movie, and it makes you wonder: is fighting genetic? Because the girl wants to kind of fight just like her dad does to some degree, and the story arc that comes with that's a lot of fun. There's characters from the first two films that come back, which I liked seeing. I really like those callbacks. The tone, I think, hits that right level of balancing the real with the a bit more fantastical elements the Rocky movies will sometimes go into, while obviously also balancing the drama, a little bit of humor here or there. Soundtrack, by the way, kicks. It's a great soundtrack. That's just a separate thing entirely. So it's really hitting all the right notes. And like I said, if they wanted to end the series here, they could do that, and they just held the glove up and say, "Yo, like I ended this on my term. I went out in on my terms, came out on my terms," and they'd be happy. I think they'd be happy. And this is apparently looking to be the highest opening week of the entire Rocky franchise. We'll see. But it's not perfect. There are some things that stood out to me. Some were just minor things, like when Jonathan Majors gets the chance to actually get the title shot. I'm looking at his opponent, and I'm like, wait. This is the heavyweight division? And I'm looking back and forth to the opponent and him. I'm like, you two look like you belong in you're like two separate weight classes apart. I'm sorry. I don't buy this. Because the guy was obviously in shape. He was designed as a boxer. Is he a real boxer? I wonder about that. Lorenzo Terrence Crawford. Now, is this guy an actual boxer? Because he actually did look like a boxer. No, this is not the person I was thinking of. I don't think it was. Anyway, I digress. So, but yeah, it's just like Majors looks like he's a super heavyweight compared to this guy. If this guy is a heavyweight, he looked more like, I think it's is it middleweight or welterweight? I think it's middleweight. I think that's what it is. Welterweight goes, I believe, below middleweight, and then you go into like featherweight, light featherweight. Then you get into all those. Weight wise, I think I am just I think weight-wise, I would actually qualify because I'm a little over 200 pounds. I'm like depending on what time of the day it is, I'm either like 210 to 206, depending on when I've eaten, when I got all that. I think I would qualify for the heavyweight range, but if you look at weird to say, but if you look at my arms, like, look, I got muscle. I definitely got some muscle. I could definitely hit someone, but maybe that's the problem, is that he looked at the guy he's fighting looks a bit more like I am if I worked out a bit more. And like actually had a bit more definition, but Jonathan Majors literally had biceps near the size of my head. So I don't know. That just stood out to me. It does lean a little bit into the melodramatic. Like when they lean into the melodramatic, they lean into it, and it's not bad. The acting's good in those scenes. It's just like, oh man, okay, guys, take it easy a little bit. I actually jumped at a scene because I wasn't expecting it. Like, whoa, come down there, dude. It should also, this film does take notes from the other Creed film. Like, I won't say how the film generally ends. It doesn't end like the other two ones did in general, but in terms of how after the fight, it does end similar to one of those movies where I'm like, Didn't I see this scene in one of the previous films? It's still a good scene, just done differently, but didn't I see that there? So they're definitely tropes from the other movies taken. In fact, I would say that this isn't a weakness, it's just an observation. This film is kind of a mix of Rocky 3, where Jonathan Major's character is kind of a Mr. T-esque sort, because it's implied Mr. T's character came out of prison, and he's hungry. I want a fool. I want the stallion. But he's kind of a little bit of a Mr. T. He's a little bit of a Tommy Gunn. There's a little bit of Rocky 5 in there as well. So yeah, this is kind of actually a mix. I mean, it's still its own thing. I'm not trying, but it's part of the Rocky universe, so we are going to make some comparisons. I would say it is kind of a mix of Rocky 3 and a little bit of Rocky 5, but the good elements because there are some good elements in Rocky, but it is no doubt the worst of the series, bar none. But it takes some of the good elements of Rocky 5 and like good concepts. Honestly, Creed is the better Rocky 5, to be honest, where Rocky's retired and takes protege kind of thing. But there are some elements taken out of here as well. And there's a little bit of Rocky Balboa in there too, where Adonis has to get back in shape and train. Granted, they say you're old. I'm like, and actually, let me look up Michael B. Jordan's age real quick. When they say you're old, man, I'm like, hold on. What is it? What's Michael B. Jordan's age now? Michael B. Jordan. Seriously, what is his age? 1 sec. I'm gonna find it. I am gonna find it. Michael B. Jordan. Hold on. Okay, Michael B. Jordan. His age is 36. Bite me. I'm 33. You call 36 old? Bite me. No, I do get it. I do get it from a professional athlete's standpoint, because I mean, look at Tom. Actually, Tom Brady's a perfect example of this. Tom Brady, by the way, they've even said Tom Brady is a freak of nature. Like not even freaking. He's like a miracle. Tom Brady's 45, and he was still the freaking quarterback of the Patriots. Was it the Patriots? Yeah, I believe so. And I mean, okay, he was a quarterback up until he's now retired again. Most football players don't make it to their 40s. They're lucky to hit mid 30s before they kind of have to, chill out for pretty much. So, and fighters, arguably, fighters, I would argue it's worse, because in football you can avoid people. Your job isn't to get hit. You wear clothes to take that hit. Your job is to get the ball and, keep people at bay. Now, you will take hits, some bad hits, you might break bones, but it's not the same type of contact sport as, say, a professional fighter sport, like boxing or MMA. Your job is to literally hit and get hit legitimately and hopefully not go down. So, yeah, I mean, I can understand saying at 36 you might be an old fighter, but you know what? I still quite now. If he were in his 40s, that's a different conversation. If Michael B. Jordan's character was in his 40s, like say 45 or something like that, which they don't actually say how old he is. My guess is he's still probably around Michael B. Jordan age, so mid 30s. Which would make him definitely an older fighter. But hey, if Mike Tyson in his early 50s come back and go back to boxing and look great, then hey, look, who's to judge? That is something that does stand out to me. And yeah, look, technically everything's Stallone's stat out of the equation. Like there's Bad Blood or whatever, and it's not really it's his franchise technically, and he's not wrong, but he's not right either. He's in a weird gray area. It's like, yeah, the franchise was founded on you, but you can't be in these movies forever. You got other things you want to do. You've got other, this film series can't be unsolved because of you. So I would say check your ego a little bit, Sly, but you're right. The franchise was founded on you, but the franchise was also founded, like Lord of the Rings was founded on like the whole Lord of the Rings series, and Lord of the Rings isn't a good example. Oh, okay. the MCU was founded on Iron Man, but Iron Man is not the MCU. How many Iron Man films are there? 3. How many films has Iron Man actually been in? That's actually a good question. You got Avengers 1, 2, 3, 4. And you got Civil War. I do not count the cameo at the end of Incredible Hulk. That doesn't count. And you got Spider-Man. Oh, Civil War and Spider-Man. So out of the, what are we at now? 30-something? He's in 9 of them, which admittedly is almost 30% of the series, but not quite. And look, the series can continue on with, I still think the series can continue on without Tony Stark, but that's a different topic in general. Point being, the series can continue on without Rocky, without Stallone. But you do feel the absence, or they reference Rocky a couple times, and you do feel that absence. You do feel the lack of him being there. But I mean, they ended his story in a nice place in Creed 2, so I don't see a real reason to be upset about that per se. But I don't know. It is what it is. Anyway, look, I highly recommend the movie. If you are a fan of the first two, if you're a fan of boxing, you're a fan of Michael B. Jordan, like Jonathan, if you're a fan of anything that generally goes into this film or as this film is about, you are going to enjoy this movie quite a bit. I think you'll have a good time, definitely. So that's my thoughts. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. My goal was to see Operation Fortune tonight, but we're getting another winter storm coming through, so I don't want to get stuck out and stuck out in the weather and have to drive home in that crap. Anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. What did you think? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, Rocco! Or Creed! Creed! Until then, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.